My name is Mason, and I've been building in Minecraft for close to 11 years now. I've gathered together 4 big concept tips to improve the way you think about building so that the next time you build, you can build like a pro. Before we begin, please note that I build with the Axiom and World Edit mods. This video will not feature tutorials on how to use them, but I've left some links to great tutorials in the description for you. Without further ado, here's 4 tips on Your first step is to find some reference or inspiration images. To find good pictures, using keywords such as fantasy or concept art will help you find more interesting results. Don't look so much for full pieces, but aspects of each image that you like. I really like the tower in this image here, and the general shape of this fire station in Germany will work well as a base for my build. In-game, you can easily spot the parts of the build I took from the reference images. Notice how your eye gravitates towards those parts. When we're looking for reference images, we're taking the strongest parts of these images to give our build a prominent and strong form. Be sure to make the build feel like your own, and don't feel like you have to copy over every part of your reference. Our next step will be picking out some blocks to use in the build. These don't have to be final yet, as we're just starting to lay down the general shape of the build, but even at this early stage, your palette is a good thing to keep in mind, as even a single color can change the entire feel of a build. If you're struggling, consider visiting blockpalettes.com or looking up another Minecraft color palette site. It's got tons of community-made palettes that can fit all sorts of builds. If you're using Axiom, the most recent versions come with a built-in color picker that helps you find the blocks most similar to any color in a hexadecimal value, and it can even help you build gradients. Also consider that some colors are easier to build with than others. Grayscale is by far the easiest in the game, with tons of blocks and slabs and stairs for most of said blocks, where colors such as green are very limited to the select shades in Minecraft, with even more limited slab and stair options. Once you've selected a couple blocks, we can move on to actually starting our builds. Composition is one of the most important parts of your build. Having a strong form can change the entire way the build feels. Try to start by blocking out the major shapes, using things such as L's or other Tetris block shaped forms. Most builds that you make will have the general shape of one of these blocks, and while some are more common than others, the Tetris theory, as I put it, is a simple way to think about the shape of your build. Composition isn't just limited to viewing the build in your own world. When taking photos of your build to post somewhere, consider how the angle you take the picture at can change how parts of your build feel. Notice how in this example, when the photo is taken from a lower angle, the tower feels taller and more impending or dominant. The lack of a background in this image also helps create an air of mystery around the build and leaves the viewer wanting more. With a strong form established, you can get on to really making your build come alive. Details. These are the heart and soul of your build and are what will help you define your style. I don't believe that more or less detail is what dictates a good build. As long as it is consistent and has a definite style, the build will feel polished and strong. Different architectural styles have different amounts of detail, and while a build can look plain if under-detailed, in many cases, an over-detailed build looks worse. Novice builders often go overboard with adding depth to their builds. A good rule of thumb to follow is the larger the build is, the more details you can add, and the more blocks of depth you can add to flat sections, such as walls. When texturing, many beginner builders add detail by randomly mixing blocks or using world edit commands to add noise. While this does add detail, it doesn't always make sense. A simple trick is to use something called smart texturing, where blocks are added in larger clumps and solid lines are created between colors. Smart texturing also pays attention to corners and ledges. Adding darker blocks here can give illusions of shadow. Even with lots of detail, builds can still feel empty. That is where alive details come in. These are small parts of a build that make it feel lived in and like a real place. Some alive details are more obvious, such as plants and benches, but others are more subtle, such as using mossy cobblestone blocks only underneath a tree to simulate fallen leaves, or filled-in windows on a building to showcase the history of it. These are also typically the final details you add, and often the most fun part of the build. I hope that these quick tips help you out in learning how to build. A 5-minute video won't make you better overnight, but the tricks I listed here have taken me years to learn and develop. Next time you are making a build, you'll be able to put a little more thought into the decisions you are making and put some design principles into your creations. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me in the future, be sure to like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm starting to get into video making, so hopefully more videos similar to this one will be coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Toodles!